we're going through the core of confidence. So we started with your spirit, and then we talked about protecting your mind, and then we talked about appreciating your body, and now we're working our way outward of the core of confidence, and we're talking about honoring your relationships. Now, this is really important because obviously relationships make up every aspect of our life. Dave Ramsey says all the time, everything you'll ever do in your lifetime will go through people. We'll have some interaction with people. Every opportunity, every job, every move, everything you do will somehow interact with other people. Now, we don't want to start in talking about our relationships. We've got to start with ourselves. But what's so interesting is that as you get healthy in you, as you work on your own spirit, your own mind, your own body, and your confidence there in who you are and whose you are, that confidence will trickle into every aspect of your life and certainly in your relationships. Now, let's go ahead and first acknowledge something that you and I deal with on a regular basis. Sometimes people are crazy, right? Like maybe you're related to them. Maybe you are one of them. I don't know. But there are crazy people. There are hateful people. There are difficult people. Life is messy. People are imperfect. That is a reality. So if we're looking for a formula of how to have the perfect marriage and the perfect kids and the perfect friendships and perfect in-laws and perfect everything, that ain't gonna happen because we're all imperfect. We know that, we get it, but then we still struggle in our interactions. Well, how do I navigate this situation? How do I handle that conflict? How do I have that difficult conversation? How do I set that boundary? How do I speak the truth and be loving? Like not just be truthful and harsh. How do I also be loving? What does that balance look like? And it's hard. It's really hard. You run into dead ends. Things are frustrating. Sometimes you're in a situation, you're like, I don't know how to handle this. You know, I love how Tony Robbins says, the quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. And that is so true. Every relationship that we have affects us. And so it's really important for us to talk about how to honor them. Now, I want to give you a really simple one sentence rule of thumb. This is the rule that I go by. It's not always perfect. I don't always remember it perfectly and certainly don't always execute it perfectly. But if you're in any situation, anytime, anywhere with anyone, this one rule will help you know what to do. No matter how crazy someone's being, no matter how hateful someone's being, no matter what the conflict or conversation is, this one rule will tell you what to do. Are you ready for it? Spoiler alert, you've heard it before. It's the golden rule. Treat others as you would want to be treated. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I know, it's so simple, right? That sounds so simple, but it's so hard to do. When you find yourself in a situation and you just adamantly disagree with this other person, how would you want someone to talk to you? When you're in a situation where someone is out of line and you've got to set a boundary or lean into that conflict or coach or correct someone, how would you want someone to coach or correct you? You know, there's a leader here at our organization that celebrated 20 years here just yesterday. And they were up there celebrating him on stage and talking about just what an amazing leader he is. And I don't interact with him a ton. We've got a really big company, but I felt compelled to send him an email last night. And I just said, hey, Jack, I just want to thank you for your leadership. I said, I have a couple specific memories with you. And one of them is a time when you sat me down and coached me and corrected me on something I had done. I don't even remember what I did. I don't remember what the situation was. I don't remember how I'd messed up. Here's what I do remember. I remember the unbelievable kindness with which he presented his information. I remember how kind he was in how he coached me. I love how Maya Angelou said, she said, people will forget what you do and they will forget what you say, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And even though that was a difficult situation, even though he was having to correct me on something I had done wrong, I will never forget how he made me feel. He made me feel okay. He made me feel safe and loved and accepted, even though I had messed up. That's a great example of the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you would expect kindness and want kindness, show kindness. If you would expect grace and compassion, show grace and compassion. If you would expect empathy and the benefit of the doubt, show empathy and the benefit of the doubt. I love the scripture where it talks about the speck and the plank. The speck that you look at in your brother's eye and the plank you have in your own eye, because I don't know about you, but it is so easy to find the specks in other people's eyes. Look how they're messing up, and I don't agree with that, and they're out of line, and I would not parent that way, and can you believe she did that? That's all we do all day. We look at all the specks in everyone's eyes around us. But wouldn't it be more productive to look at the plank in our own eye, to focus on what we can control, which is ourselves, as we've been talking about again and again. You can't control how someone treats you, but you can control how you treat them. You can do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This framework, this rule, this guideline helps you know what to do in any situation. And here's what's so beautiful about this. You can decide right now who you want to be, the type of person that you want to be. And you can choose to be that person no matter what, regardless of if that person deserves it, if the situation calls for it, if that person is worthy of it, if that person treated you with respect. You can say, I'm going to be a person that treats people with respect, so I'm going to act respectful. I'm going to treat people in this way, not because they deserve it, but because that's who I am. I'm not going to be swayed by the current or react to how someone treated me. I'm going to be this person, and I'm going to treat people in this way. It's amazing how this one rule will help cut through all the clutter, all the confusion, all the chaos in your mind of what to do when you just simply ask yourself, how would I want to be treated? How would I want someone to talk to me? How would I want someone to handle me? How would I want someone to handle this situation, even in hard situations, even in conflict? It's amazing how it opens our eyes to put ourselves in someone else's shoes and empathize and know what to do no matter what. Now, in addition to the golden rule, I want to give you 3 really simple tactical things you can do to put this into practice, okay? So there's your framework. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's so simple, but let's break that down even a little bit more specific, okay? Now, y'all know I have a little bit of teacher in me, and so I love to make it memorable. These are your ABCs, okay? A, appreciate everything. Appreciate everything. I remember last year at Business Boutique, my husband, the event actually fell on his birthday. Now, my husband is a 50-50 partner when it comes to house stuff and kid stuff, and he is in it with me. He helps me so much. But on birthdays, my birthday and his birthday, it's kind of like this unspoken rule, I guess, that the other person gets off. Like on my birthday, he's gonna take the kids and I can just do what I want to, get a pedicure, go to Target by myself, winning, right? Like just the simple things, okay? On his birthday, he's kind of off duty. Well, last year on his birthday was the Business Boutique event, so he was with the kids. I remember posting something on Instagram about how grateful I was for such a supportive husband that could take care of the kids while I'm on stage using my God-given gifts. And there was a lot of, positive comments. And then there was one. There's always one. Don't be the one. By the way, just don't be the one, okay? There's always one that has to show the other side, be the devil's advocate. I don't know why anyone wants to be on the devil's team, but moving on. And she's like, well, I can't believe that you would talk like this, Christy. You're so for women because, of course, he should watch his children. They're his children. He's a parent of this. It's not watching them. He's not a babysitter. And I was like, yeah, I hear you. But my husband and I appreciate everything. Even when expectations are met, we appreciate those. We're not coming from this position of entitlement like, of course you watched your kids, they're yours. We don't have that posture. We don't have that attitude. We appreciate everything. I appreciate when he watches the kids during his birthday, when he would normally have the day off. I appreciate when he takes out the trash. I appreciate when he wakes up early with Mary Grace whenever she's crying so I could sleep a few minutes longer. I appreciate when he just comes home on time from work. Not because the situation called for it, but because I want to be a person of gratitude. And y'all, when you choose to appreciate everything in your relationships, everything, even the simple, small, silly stuff we normally overlook, the foundation that sets for your relationship can change everything. So your A is appreciate everything. B, believe the best. That just means in the absence of information, instead of assuming the worst, which we always do, we're going to believe the best. We're going to give that person the benefit of the doubt. Let's say it's someone you don't even have a relationship with. You're driving on the road and this car cuts you off. I mean, just cuts you off. You could easily get angry, have road rage, start flying your arms around, drive up next to him and give him a long stare like, I know what you did, right? You could do that. Or you could be like, man, I bet they almost missed their turn. They didn't see that turn coming and they had to get over real quick. You could give them the benefit of the doubt. What's amazing is that person won't know the difference unless you're flailing in the background, but you actually get a gift in that process as well. You get this gift of peace and grace and confidence in that relationship, even if it's someone you don't know. But think about how that can affect all your relationships. You have a text conversation with your mother-in-law and she's short. You could assume, oh, she's mad at me. See, I knew she never liked me. Or you could think, oh, I bet she's busy. I'll catch up with her later. You get to choose. So your A is appreciate everything. B is believe the best in the other person. And C, communicate everything that's important to you. George Bernard Shaw said, the greatest problem with communication is the illusion that it's occurred. We all think we've said the thing. We all think we're on the same page. We're playing from the same playbook. And so often we're not. So often we did not communicate. I love how Chris Hogan says, an idea that you don't communicate is called a thought. That's all it is. It's in your head. So take that extra step to say out loud. Say the compliments, say the hard stuff, communicate expectations, communicate values, priorities, what's going on this week, schedule, money, budget, communicate everything. These 3 simple things, appreciate everything, believe the best, and communicate anything that's important to you. Those 3 things are simple, tactical, practical things you can do to truly live out the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. As you do this, as you live this out in your life, you really will get to experience what it's like to honor your relationships. Because we know we can't control other people, but what you can control is you.